Limited and conditioned to believe that our gender or the color of our skin or our political party are the basis in which we should treat each other. We've been conditioned to believe that people from different countries are somehow alien, and the truth of the matter is that we are all connected. The internet is showing us that in many different ways, that there may be a society that you might not have grown up in, but something in your spirit is called to that society. And then people go ahead and they do their DNA test and they start to see that, oh wow, there's different parts of the world that I really am connected to. So that utopic vision, that infinite idea in my mind, is to see a world where we can truly harmonize and live in peace. And I think that in order to get there, we have to find the peace within. There's a lot of people right now who are in turmoil. When we talk about mental health goes right into physical health. If you're not feeling good, you're probably not thinking good, which is going to obviously then affect your spirit. It's going to affect that etheric body that also governs many of the things you do. We have such a beautiful hardware, such a beautiful software in terms of who we are as people, this human design. And something that I like to say is sometimes we give these computers more love than we give each other. Sometimes we give our pets more love than we do for another human being, just because we may not have necessarily understood or overstood their perspective. We may not know them. They may be living a different reality, and therefore we try to paint them as the other. The truth of the matter is that we all stem from a common ancestor. And the $1 trillion idea is that we can teach that as a foundation. And once we teach that as a foundation, to honor others, to honor yourself, to love yourself, and these are age-old principles. It's just that many people don't necessarily apply it because self-love is lacking. Self-love is lacking. The only way to have a great society is to fill it with great individuals. And people are not invested in themselves. People are not invested in their ideas, their ingenuity, which comes from their intuition. So even if we think about intuition, what is tuition? Something you pay to go to school, but what about that internal school, right? What about that wealth that really lies within inside of you? Or I should say, it truths within inside of you. It's your truth, it's your essence, it's everything that makes you who you are. Your DNA is coded with so many beautiful things from your ancestors, so many beautiful things from not only the past but the future. Your future lineage is going to inherit a lot of powerful things and then be able to either build on it or destroy. And what I would like to see is that we start to invest in that, but even before the child is born. Like, what is the investment that we are truly locking into? And so the $1 trillion idea is that we really come together and make education, make knowledge of self, make health a priority. And then that will give people the platform and the ability to build mountains and to really establish such a firm idea of love and a collective love at that. It's also to make sure that we get rid of institutions and organizations and governments that are not aligned with that, and replace and reestablish these things. Because if I had these trillions of dollars, the first thing I would do is do away with these entities that are killing us. When we talk about the FDA, we talk about, you know, these corporations that are selling all types of toxins. We talk about the oil industry that has really taken and galvanized so much control over the government and also over countries around the world where they can hire the assassination of other presidents. So, there's definitely a lot of thoughts and a lot of different ideas that I have. And, with an infinite amount of money, with an infinite amount of wealth, obviously we can do so much. And then, once again, that infinite, right? We got to look infinite, or I should say we got to look inward for that infinity, and know that we do have all the power and the capabilities. If you are not able to project the world that you wish to see, then you're not able to truly come to terms with something that you may be grappling with, because you haven't unlocked that level in the game. It's almost like in order to receive a certain armor in a game or a certain status, I remember playing Call of Duty, for example. You couldn't get certain guns if you ain't pass a certain amount of ratios, or you get your accolades up, you earn your stripes. Or even like Kingdom Hearts, you couldn't get the new Keyblade, you couldn't get the new keys if you ain't do the prerequisite work. And a lot of us, we like to trick people into thinking that we've done the prerequisite work. I am about to be 30. There's a lot more things I wish to accomplish, and I know that the things that I wish to accomplish or I am going to accomplish have not been accomplished because I have not fulfilled the prerequisites. I cannot expect to go to college and I'm struggling in 8th grade. So it's about also being honest with ourselves. I'm about investing in honesty. I'm about investing in the idea that we really get to the root, get to the source of all of the turmoil, not only on this planet, but on the individual's conscious. Because for there to be a mass shooter, it only takes one person. What is this one person going through, and how has society failed this one person to the point where this one person feels the need to take other people's lives? When we talk about people who abuse drugs, what is this person missing? We like to look in this country at the nuclear family, right, as being the haven. But even if you think about the word nuclear, it's not always a great thing. You feel me? If we don't start to invest in each other, like, something I heard in Japan, they put a red dot on the children who are traveling by themselves, and it's to signify that, hey, the community is going to look out for this child. The community is going to take care of this child because we are invested in our children. That means there is no or I want to say that child trafficking is not a thing. There's nobody in their right mind who would align with that, ideally, because they have a certain level of mental health. They have a certain level of awareness for society that is like, this innocent being who has yet to experience much of their life. How could I not look out for and protect and help to guide them? And then I also see this utopia where we listen to the children, where we don't tell them to shut up, where we don't hit them, where we don't scold them for certain things that we think is the right way because we were indoctrinated to think so. They're coming straight from the source. They're coming straight from the Creator. So even while that child is in the womb, the energy that a mother has and the people around that mother has is important. We got to invest in every single aspect. It's not just the seen, it's the unseen as well. But we can't let the unseen have so much influence that we lose our balance, and then the things that are seen, we don't fully appreciate them. We're not we're not fully grateful, and also we believe that we're supposed to just have it, as opposed to we're supposed to work for these things. And work doesn't have to be boring. This is supposed to be things that we love. This is supposed to be fun. You know, what I do is I perform, I teach, and I do holistic health, whether it's selling the food or doing roots activation. That's what I do for a living. I enjoy it. It's beautiful. I'm living my dream. I'm following my passion. And so the work doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be something that's non-fulfilling. So if I had $1 trillion, I would pay the people to invest in themselves. Yo, here's some money. Do what you want to do, not what you're being told to do. Do you want to take $1,000 and go buy some sage and sell sage in your community because maybe you just think, yo, we need cleaner alternatives to these toxic air fresheners? We also need to cleanse the space of just certain ideas and feelings and auras that may arise. That's just one small step for Godkind. You feel me? Gods, we are capable of so much when we really give into our God self. And so I want to invest in the gods and the goddesses. I want to invest in the children, the young gods and goddesses. I want to invest in me. I want to be able to unlock new levels in my life, new levels in my potential, so that I can continue this beautiful game of life, you know, because it is to be, you know, we are supposed to have fun. We are supposed to have fun. We are supposed to play. And one thing that taught me so much is acting, like being in plays. All of these beautiful themes and concepts, they were such great teachers. And sometimes we don't look for the lesson in everything. And if I had that infinite amount of wealth, it would just only be to create platforms for people to be able to amplify their hearts and souls. You know, we're a beautiful, beautiful group of amazing, infinite people. All of us, all of you listening, it's endless, the amount of possibilities, the realms that we can really conquer, or I should say, rather than looking at it in a conquering perspective, that we can explore together. So, with that being said, I give so much thanks, God family, for y'all listening. I'm grateful for another breath, a voice to speak. And that's where I find my infinity. That's where I find my wealth. That's where I find my value. Knowing that the Creator has given me something that no one can take away from me. I have to take it from myself. Even these toxic chemicals that they put in certain medications and foods to disrupt our neurological system, which can affect our mental, which can affect our ability to process and think. We still have to sign off on these things. We still have to exchange currency for these things. And then we have to put it in our body, even though the codes, they're all written out. It tells you the ingredients. We know that a lot of these ingredients are illegal in other countries. So let's invest into our bodies. Let's invest in our minds. And by doing that, we will be a little bit more conscious with how we approach certain things that we are intaking, that we are ingesting, that we are aligning with. It's really beautiful when we are able to see that other side, in terms of knowing that this matrix is what it is, but that we literally have to plug in and play. No one is forcing you to do that, especially as adults. And I think as adults, when you know better, not only do you do better for the children, you do better for the community. That being said, God family, enough blessings. Bless up, stay rooted. Love y'all so much.